long-lost drink of Surge is coming back. The Merc with the Mouth gets his own movie, and Gotham premieres this Monday. What's up, everybody? Welcome to TotallyAFan, the show where I, a total fan, come to you and I bring you news in movies, videos, video games, TV shows, comic books, everything involving the world of fandom, and we bring that information to you. Now today, with me, to my left, we have Miss Serena, who's joining us today. And then on the bottom, via Skype call, we have Mr. Jesse Meza. And before
I'm in my box again. Aww.
And before we get started, Miss Serena, how are you involved in the world of fandom?
Pretty much a nerd all around. I play World of Warcraft, many first-person shooters. Just recently got into Magic the Gathering, and my twin sister and I want to get into cosplaying. I love anime, comic books. I love everything nerd, so. All
right. Well, cosplay is definitely fun. I've had my share with it. I don't know about Jesse, probably not.
Never. Not that much of a geek.
But cosplay's pretty dope, and that's awesome. We have a lot of great conventions that come out here, so definitely get great opportunities to do so. So that's wonderful. Today we're going to start off with the long-lost drink of Surge. Back in the 90s, this drink was freaking phenomenal. It was pretty good. And
it was diabetes in a can.
What?
Diabetes in a can.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. That was the little nickname for it. And back then, it was probably the most top-selling drink. And recently, a couple big major Totally fans of Surge did a hashtag Surge movement where they kind of pushed to bring it back. And now I believe for maybe a limited time, it is available on Amazon. So definitely you guys will be able to take advantage of buying some 12 packs it is. And I think it may have some other specials as well. Now, I remember back in the 90s, and after reading the article, I kind of was like, maybe it's propaganda against the soda. But for males, what they were saying is if you drink a lot of Surge, it's supposed to shrink your thing. And so it kind of got me to stop drinking it, even though it was so delicious. After that, it kind of sparked Mountain Dew and a couple other drinks as well, but there was nothing like Surge. So Jesse, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on Surge, and what are your thoughts about it now?
First of all, that's a lie. I could confirm. I love Surge. Is so awesome. That is the greatest soda ever invented. I actually sold it because when it discontinued, they would anything on Surge related stuff on eBay would start selling out the window. I collected the WCW Surge cans with Goldberg and all those old wrestlers. I sold those for $200 long time ago, and then they finally bring it back, the original formula, and they're starting to sell it now on Amazon. It actually sold out 3 times because Coca-Cola, they don't know if this is going to be a good idea. They just think, okay, these are 10 nerds who just want their soda. Let's just give them a little bit, and then everyone immediately crashed the site, and they've gone out of stock at least within an hour of it going up. So now it's been out of stock for about 4 or 5 days, and they're trying to restock it. So that kind of shows you that people, it's not just something old they want to try again. This is something from their childhood that they've been wanting it's been out 12 years. We haven't seen it again. So I missed out. So definitely I want to get me, $200 worth of soda, and we'll have to try it and go back to the past on that.
Yeah, what our plan was, we were going to buy a couple Surge cans, a couple packs, and we were going to drink it on the show. But like Jesse said, they sold out pretty quickly.
It was too late. I tried to get it. It was sold out. So we just got to wait until they restock it.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, though, with this, it's going to help push to, hopefully Coke will be like, oh, man, Surge is selling.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Let's just do that. Let's just make money that way, because obviously Coke isn't working, or it probably is working, but not as great as Surge is. So Serena, what about you? What are your thoughts on Surge back then, and then now they're pushing for it back?
Well, I never got to experience the wonderfulness of Surge.
I
know, devastating. But I am excited because it is getting such a push. It must be delicious. I love Mountain Dew, so I hear that it's better. So I would like to partake in the Surge madness that is coming to us. So I'm excited.
Excellent. So the article, I believe, was on Kotaku.com. And I think they may have a link to how to help support the movement. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that down in the description downstairs. But what are your guys' thoughts? You know, which one of you guys used to drink Surge back in the day, and which ones of you guys are looking forward to it now? Let us know. So Gotham is an awesome show. I believe in season 1, I believe early on, I talked about the show, how it was going to come onto the TV, and now it's coming. Premieres this Monday on Fox. And actually, I think last week I said it premiered on CW, so that was my apologies. But it's coming on Fox. Now, for those of you who don't know, Gotham is basically, in a sense, it's like the year 1 version of the Gotham mythos, where we see the early beginnings of Jim Gordon and Bruce Wayne. Now, the show, it's going to be a little bit of a twist in that, you know, it's going to play young Jim. However, it's going to play an even younger Bruce Wayne. So instead of year 1, where they're both about the same age, they're both going to be a lot younger. Well, at least Wayne is, Bruce is. Another thing about the show is that we're also going to see the beginnings of Batman's greatest rogues gallery. Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, Joker, a bunch of other people. And in addition, we have Jada Pinkett Smith playing a new character, Fishy Moon, where it's going to... If you think about it, because they're playing so far back into the beginnings, it does give them some opportunity to play some other characters, introduce new characters and things like that. And it's great because we're going to get to see the origins of a lot of our favorite villains. Now, one villain in particular is the Joker. The number 1 most recognizable villain of all time, especially in the Batman universe, is the Joker. In the comics, Joker has about 3 or 4 different origins. None of them, even DC has confirmed that none of them are actual legit confirmed, although a lot of fans have said, okay, this one seems a little bit more likely to be the truth. This one doesn't. This one has some elements that could work. So now we're going to see a whole new beginning, which this one may or may not be canon. We'll find out on what DC says. But Serena, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this show going to have this awesome background of all these villains? And then what are your thoughts on the show itself?
I watched a lot of the previews for the show, and I know I should be excited, but it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I do like the idea of it being an origin story. I definitely want to learn about all of the villains. Like the Riddler is such an interesting character. The Penguin,
Mm-hmm.
like how does he come to be the Penguin? I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to kind of learn about them. And I saw one clip of Poison Ivy, and I've always loved sexy Poison Ivy, so I'm interested to see how that comes about, you know? So it's going to be good.
Excellent. Yeah, it's like I said, Joker is, by far, he's my favorite villain ever in Marvel and in DC. And to see his origin as well as some of the other baddies, see their origins. And like I said, Batman has the greatest rogue gallery. He's got tons of awesome, great evil masterminds. Some that pack quite a punch. Some that are very mindful. So it's going to be great to see a lot of their origins. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play with the New 52, with the current comic book. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, something we talked about last week is with the new Batman vs. Superman movie coming out. Obviously, certain origins and things like that may not work with the movie, and they may not work with the show. And we've seen it before, especially with Smallville, how not everything is canon. So it'll be crazy to see how they mix a lot of these things, what they'll take from it, what they won't take from it, and things like that. So, Jesse, what about you? What are your thoughts on the new show?
Well, sir, I kind of don't care about Law and Order Gotham. Some of the early reviews are basically saying it's Law and Order Gotham. I think DC, they're trying so hard to play catch up with Marvel that now, after the success of Arrow, I think they're just, they're like, okay, let's do everybody. Let's get, Flash has a new show. Let's do Gotham. I think yesterday they confirmed a Supergirl show is now in development. So, I don't know how good a show about Batman without Batman can actually do. Arrow is awesome because it's actually about Arrow. It's not about, when he was young or when he's a kid or, everyone else around him. It's about him. So I'm kind of a little nervous about a Gotham show when you got, so many crime shows now. It's just basically going to be a crime show. And since this is before he was even Batman, how, the Joker wasn't around before Batman. If Batman's not Batman, then the Joker isn't really the Joker yet. He's just probably a crazy guy walking around. So I'll watch the first episode just to see what it's like. But I don't know. It's kind of kind of iffing with me.
That actually, you did bring up a couple good points. Definitely from the trailers I've seen, it does have that cops and robbers, Law and Order type feel to it. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. I definitely think it's going to have some suspense thriller type feel to it, and probably a little bit less superhero esque type of show like we've seen with Smallville and Arrow, and with the Flash that we're going to see. We also talked about the Titans movie the Titans show coming out on TNT. That's obviously going to play to the superhero role as well. But with this one, it is going to feel like a police, and we have tons of police shows already. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, we have tons already, and we're just going to add another more that's going to have a little bit more, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more bad guy themed rather than be a little bit more towards the good guys. So for me, it is going to be interesting to see it. And that is one thing I'm kind of worried about, that it's going to have that Law and Order, that cops and robbers type feel. But I'm still excited for it. So, and like you said, we'll just have to wait and see it till Monday. Did you have any other remarks or any other comments that you feel for the show, or?
Well, same with what Jesse said. Like, I know that the Joker doesn't become the Joker until Batman, arrives. But it is interesting to see what leads them, all of them, to eventually become those personas that they, he eventually becomes the Penguin. He's originally, he has a name. But he becomes the Penguin, and she wasn't Poison Ivy before, but now she's all of a sudden become Poison Ivy. So it is interesting to kind of learn what pushes them over the edge to become these, big name supervillains.
Right. And another thing too is thinking about all the other Batman movies. I really suspect that it's gonna have that feel of The Dark Knight, of Christopher Nolan's Batman, and probably a little bit less of I believe it's Jerry Bruckheimer's with Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. So I really hope it doesn't go that route. I definitely feel the Christopher Nolan universe is going to be playing to here. And I kind of also want to agree with Jesse with where DC is playing catch up with Marvel in their cinematic universe. But I will say that their TV universe has always been great. I remember when Smallville first came out, I always thought it was going to feel like a teeny bopper high school type show. And I was surprised that after I started watching in the third season that it's Smallville. It's Superman. It's, even though it's like in the prime time when Seventh Heaven used to come on, it's Superman. So their TV universe has always been great, and I only expect greatness from this show. So I do want to give it a little bit more praise than maybe Jesse would, but we'll wait and see. And again, the show premieres this Monday, 9/22 at 8 p.m. on Fox. I don't know, check your local listings and all that jazz, because I don't know what channel might be on for you, because apparently we get some viewers from the UK, so...
Yeah, I'm a Marvel fanboy, so whatever.
Hopefully you guys get him. The Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool himself, has finally been announced that he's finally getting this movie! I'm so excited!
Yes! I'm so happy.
Since X-Men Origins, when that came out...
Yes.
Agreed. And I so blame the script for that one, man. I felt like they wanted to make this movie as awesome as they thought it was going to be, but once they filmed it, it was terrible. And I remember I even saw the movie leaked. Like, I saw it when the CGI wasn't even in there. I saw the whole movie and I was like, man, this movie looks like it's going to suck. When I saw it with all the graphics, I was like, man, this movie does suck. And for me, Gambit was my favorite character. He's my favorite X-Men, and he's on my top 5 of favorite heroes.
He's pretty awesome.
I felt bad what they did to him in the comic, man. It was terrible. But I felt even worse for what they did with Deadpool. Now, even they have said that they feel that they didn't use Deadpool. Even Ryan Reynolds has said they didn't use Deadpool correctly. Mm-hmm. So at least they acknowledge that. Now, with this movie, I believe it's 20th Century Fox. Fox has announced that February 12th, 2016, we are getting our Deadpool movie. However, Ryan Reynolds is not confirmed. I want to repeat, he is not confirmed, although many of the fans are pushing for it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to use Ryan Reynolds.
He's coming back. He's
right.
He's in love with the script. He loved the character. He's coming back.
Right, and he's been such a big push for the Deadpool movie, so it doesn't make sense to not have him. But a lot of reports are saying that he's confirmed that he's coming, and he's not. I want to make sure that's clear. That's a rumor that he's confirmed. Not yet, but he will be, I'm pretty sure. A new bit of news just came out today that the movie is actually not going to be rated R. It's going to be rated PG-13 For me, the rating may not affect the movie quality so much, but it will affect how they play with the character. Because for me, Deadpool's a rated R type person.
He is.
Maybe all the cussing and all that stuff he does, but for me, it's all the violence. He's a mercenary. He's a badass, awesome mercenary. And how are you gonna make a PG-13 movie about a mercenary? You know, I feel like that may or may not work. But either way, I'm excited for the movie. Now, this is the only information we have, and of course, whenever we get more, we talk about it more. But so far, I'm excited with just the fact alone that we're getting it, that it's confirmed, it's coming. Serena, how are you, like, trying to handle all the craze?
I can't even handle it. What's going on? I only recently, like, really dedicated myself to Deadpool. I recently acquired several Deadpool comics. The one I'm working on right now is Deadpool Kills. I'm on Deadpool Kills Marvel, which is really interesting. I don't know. I really liked Ryan Reynolds as the whole idea when I first heard about the movie being, you know, green-lighted. Like, I want this to happen. I want Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I don't know if you guys saw it, the leaked, like, bit.
The CGI.
Yeah, and it's Ryan Reynolds. So, and he portrays the character so well, and like in my mind, even as I read the comics now, I'm like, that's Ryan Reynolds. He's Deadpool. I want this, and I'm so excited that it's happening.
I'm glad you brought the CGI up, because that's actually going to play a little bit on how I feel certain things should go with the movie. I don't think they should go CGI.
No.
As much as I love that sneak, I don't think they should go CGI for two reasons. The first one is the CGI style, or at least the style that they use for the models. And if, again, you know, I come from an art background, but the models, I don't really like them. I don't really agree with them. And the second is because I want to see that live action.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting a little bit tired of seeing CGI when they could use real live action people. I'm getting a little bit tired of that with the Ninja Turtles, with Transformers. You guys know how I feel about that. So I really want them to go live action. But yeah, I saw the CGI, and actually that plays a part in why we're getting this movie. It did so well that Fox took a step back and they're like, you know what, let's push for it. So we got our script, we have our date, we don't yet have our actors, but they are scheduled to start filming, I think early next year. I think in May or March, one of the M months, I can't remember correctly. And if they're gonna come out for a 2016 release, I'm pretty sure they're on it, they're aware of it. So Jesse, what are your thoughts now with, how are you, like, can you handle all the madness? Are you excited
I cannot
for it?
handle all this Deadpool hype. It is insane. Yeah, that leaked footage I think was awesome. It was done by Blur Studio, who does a lot of video game cutscenes. So I thought that was cool. Obviously, you know, it was just a test, an idea that they wanted to show Fox, saying, hey, let's do this. This is what it would look like. And then it was made years ago, and then I'm pretty sure they leaked it on purpose just to see what, like, social media would say about it, and they totally ate it up. The issue with Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool. I think the reason this was taking so long is because, one, Deadpool it has to be rated R. You can't really... It's not Deadpool if he's not rated R. And the last Marvel rated R movie, I believe, was The Punisher Warzone, and that tanked so bad. So I think... You know, I know it's not Marvel, it's not a Marvel Studios movie, it's Fox's movie, but, you know, they're under the Marvel banner. I think they're a little worried that, well, if we do a Marvel R-rated movie, will people go see it? And the other issue with Ryan Reynolds is, you know, Ryan Reynolds is a pretty big name, but you're not going to see his face that a lot. He's just basically going to be a voice actor, and he might be in the suit, you know, but with Spider-Man, one of the problems I had with the new Amazing Spider-Man is, it seemed like Spider-Man, he took off his mask way too much, and the reason for that is you have to physically show Andrew Garfield, hey, this is me. So he's walking around without his mask. I don't really know. I mean, that's one of the issues they had was, well, we can't keep Ryan Reynolds covered up the same reason you can't keep Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man suit the whole time. So I'm assuming that they're going to figure out a way to have both of them in there, maybe do an origin of how he got his face messed up and how he, you know, what he looks like now. They're definitely going to make fun of, because they had the leaked script out for a while. They definitely do make fun of the fact that the X-Men Origins movie in that universe, he does make fun of that other Deadpool, which is pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward to see it. I mean, there's potential to maybe have a Hugh Jackman Wolverine cameo. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That would be pretty cool, and I'm just totally excited to see this movie.
That would be pretty dope if they have that. I do remember that when the leak came out, I thought it was actually for the Deadpool 2 video game, because I know they did the first one not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I heard Ryan's voice, I was like, oh my god, is it coming? Is it coming? Yeah. So I'm definitely super excited for it. Serena, obviously you're super excited for it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is super excited for it. I definitely agree that, you know, with X-Men Origins, that movie sucked. With Punisher Warzone, that movie also sucked. I didn't like it. And it could be a fear thing, maybe why they don't want to go rated R. Are they going to get a lot of viewers to go watch it, especially the kids, with the kids being the superhero fans? They forget that some of the adults are superhero fans. But you really got to think about the movie-going audience. How many of us are actually adults? How many of us are actually kids? You know, I do know that when they come up with movies, they don't necessarily think about just the fanboy audience. They think about
money
else too. Because out of the movie-going audience, how many of them are fanboys? You know, how many of them are nerds like we are? So that's something they have to take into consideration. So I definitely think it's a fear issue when it comes to rated R versus PG-13. Like I said, with it being a mercenary who kills people, how are you going to make that PG-13? I'm not sure. But you know what? Ever since we got the Avengers, Marvel, and any Marvel movie that's come out since have stepped up that game. They've stepped up, okay, you know, we need to be on this level. We can no longer be down here. We need to be here or higher. We need to set the bar. And you've been seeing that. Or at least I've been seeing it. I've seen it with Spider-Man. I've seen it with the Avengers. With Captain America, my favorite. With X-Men. We've seen it. So I'm pretty sure with no matter rated R or PG-13, I have faith that this movie is going to set the bar for the next phase of superhero movies that we get. And I think it's going to work. I have faith that it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, I say we riot. Yeah, I say we riot. Now, it's funny, before we go on, I think it's funny because on Twitter, I try to stay on Twitter a lot for the fans and everything. And I get, like, lots and lots and hundreds of tweets about Norman Reedus and about The Walking Dead. I'm starting to see a pickup from Walking Dead towards Deadpool, so that's interesting to see. And that just kind of shows that it's going to happen. They want it to happen. It's so, you know, obviously, when you're in the business of making money, this is what's making money. So we're going to get it, and it's going to be awesome. Alrighty, guys, so that's it for the show today. If you guys have any questions or topics, as always, please feel free to let us know. Tweet it, book it, mail it, whatever. Let me know or post it down below. We don't have any fan questions today, so that's kind of a little downer, because I do like the questions. I do like to hear what you guys have to think about what we're doing.
I have a fan question.
You have a question?
Why aren't you playing Destiny yet? Because it's awesome.
Okay. That's going to be... I decided we're going to do a
Go
separate
play it.
segment,
Go
not
play it.
part of the
Go
show.
play it.
We're
Go play
going to
it. It's
devote
awesome.
maybe 30 minutes, maybe more, to this Destiny, so we'll figure it out then. But yeah, so anyways, I want to hear what you guys have to say about what we're talking about here on the show and what we're doing with the show. For an example, with Surge, are you guys excited? Let me know. You know, what are you guys anticipating for Deadpool? Things like that. Just tweet it in, Facebook it in, mail it in, whatever you guys have. Just communicate it to us, and then we'll try to talk about it on the show for you guys. All right. So until then, we'll see you.